Hey guys, in today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to use a parameter to filter data that comes from multiple data sources. In my case, I have two different sheets here that come from multiple data sources, and I want to be able to use the same parameter to filter my data in both views. So let's take a look at how this would work. Here I'm able to make a selection in my parameter, and I can see that my information is refreshed in both views. So how can I set this up? Let's navigate over to our first sheet. So here I'm showing inflation rate by year and decade, and this data is actually being pulled from our first data set. If we jump over to our second sheet, we can see that this data is coming from our second data source. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a parameter by navigating over to create a parameter. We're going to give this parameter a name, so let's name this cycle. Basically here we want to show two different economic cycles, contraction and expansion. Our data type is going to be a string, and I want my allowable values to be a list of values, contraction and expansion. Our third value is simply just going to be all, and once we have this information filled out, we can go ahead and click OK. So as you know, with parameters, they are not going to automatically show up in your view. So you have to manually go in and specify that you want to show that parameter control. Okay, so we're going to navigate over to our parameter that we've created and select Show Parameter. So now we can see our parameter control on the right-hand side. It's a drop-down menu that allows us to select our economic phase. Right now, if I make a selection, we'll see that nothing is happening, and that is because you have to link your parameter control to your visualization in order to make it work. In our case, we're going to link our parameter control to our visualization by using a calculated field. So we'll navigate over here. We'll select Create Calculated Field. Let's call this P Select Cycle. So we're going to reference our parameter and set it to the business cycle. And we're going to say or, and then we're going to set our parameter to all. And this will actually allow you to sort of clear that parameter control. So instead of just making a selection on contraction or expansion, you're going to be able to select all, and that will include both of these phases. Okay. So once we have this calculation, we're going to go ahead and click OK. And now we're going to drag this Boolean type field that we've just created into filters. We're going to set it to true and click OK. Okay. So now we should be able to go in and change our visualization, and it's now linked to our parameter control. So let's take a look at what we need to do next in order to link our second view to this parameter. We're going to navigate over to our percent GDP growth, and what you'll see here is that you'll see that the parameter already exists in our data pane. So all we need to do is we need to create another calculated field and drop it into our filters. So we'll navigate over here, create calculated field. We can give it the same name, so P Select Cycle. And we're essentially just rewriting our code from before. So we're setting our cycle parameter to equal to our dimension that shows the business cycle. So here we're specifying business cycle, or we're setting our cycle parameter to all. Right, so we're going to go ahead and click OK. We're going to move this newly calculated field and drop it into filters. We're going to set this to true, and now we're good to go. So I'm going to jump over to my new dashboard that does not have the parameter just yet. And what I'll do is I'll add the parameter to this dashboard. So I'll click on my first sheet. I'll go to this drop-down menu, and under parameters, we should be able to see our cycle parameter that we've just created. So we're going to click on it, And now we can see that it appeared at the very top over here. Let's take a look at what happens when we interact with this parameter. If I click on expansion, we can see that both of our sheets are now being filtered on. So that's it for today's tutorial. The only thing you guys need to remember for linking your parameter control to your visualization is you have to create a calculated field. As long as you link your parameter to that calculated field and you drop it into filters for both of the sheets, you can then use that parameter control to filter your data in your dashboard, and it's going to apply that filter to both of the sheets that you have in the view, which you've added that calculation to the filters for. Alright, so thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to our channel for more Tableau tutorials.